Fantastic. We're gone live according to YouTube, and welcome if you're here for the replay. Lovely to have you here for the replay. Got quite a bright light shining on, which is why my face is lit up on one side doing the Rembrandt thing. And let's just get those there. We'll just take the comment section off for a sec. Because no one's here anyway at the moment. Just started. And bring up the reference photo. So it's reasonably, reference photo is just it's a reference, right? I'm not trying to totally duplicate it. There's some activities I need to do to finish this painting off, and I'm just starting to tighten up the painting. So last week I said it was about 80% done and that it had been blocked in, and now it was time to start bringing in details. And while it will remain quite a loose piece of work, some things that still need addressing. So I'm starting to get the lights sorted on the rock here, the darks and the lights. There's some rocks over in this part of the painting that just become a little too light, so they need dressing. I'm gonna get some of this ochre up into the trees here, just little bits, just to pull that around the painting. Fix up some of these shadows, because what's happened is this has become separated from the rest of the rock. Smooth out a bit of shadow under Helen's hand as well. These turquoise rocks along the river and the reflections, totally fine with. I'm okay with how the river's gone here. This is, from a distance it looks fine. From I just stand in a way that you can actually see what I'm pointing at. So this is looking fine from a distance. Just a little bit of a fix up around here. And some of the shadow in her dress, I'm very happy with how her leg is shaping out. Just got to fix up some tonal efficiencies. Her shoulders come right. I want to put in her necklace. We'll use some pastel pencil for that. So we might do that today as well. So we're at 85%, and I want to get to 90. This is 14th episode, so something like 14 hours will have been spent on the painting, and yeah, we're getting close to the finish mark. Might just turn this light down a little bit. It's just a bit intense. Why? Dial it back. Right, so that's dialed the lighting back a wee bit. Got my coffee. I have preloaded with one already this morning. It's not too cold here in New Zealand. I'll put that over there. Let's get rid of this carafe. French press. So it's not too cold. It's about 14 degrees. It's a bit grey and overcast. I'll just get a bit more light coming through this window. And bring up my so if you've been following the series, and this is all put into a playlist, so for the lives straight from the studio, there's some things I've learnt, and maybe you will have picked it up. I've stayed with the same painting the whole way through because so often when I do a painting, it's just a time lapse, and you know, people have got busy lives, so you give them a 10-minute video, go to woe, and there isn't really too much you can show in that time of what it takes to do a painting. But with this, painting it from go to woe and filming it as I do it, go back and just see just exactly how I have used the pan pastels to do that. Start, and I've been trying to use two different types, one for blue, one for my reds and creams, and often I get them mixed up. It's quite frustrating. That's how life is. Yeah, one of the things I've learned from doing this series is because I'm scheduled to stream in the studio from 10 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time, which is I think might be 11 p.m. in UK, and in Pacific time it's about 5 hours difference, so must be 3 o'clock California. But by jumping on and doing these streams, which are unedited and just raw, showing you don't have to wait for inspiration. And that's been quite good, because some days you don't really feel like being creative. Easier to just stay in bed or scroll social media. And what I've done is force myself to get on and paint. And just do it as a job. Just rock up and do it as a job. And that's been quite an interesting experience. Looking at the different colours in her dress. I'll zoom in a bit. So this is sort of the area I'm going to be working on. Just working on a little bit of her shadows in her dress and looking at the different colours I see. There's a little bit of green in there. This bright yellow. And we might just put a bit of red and ochre in there too. So I see that as well. And sometimes those little bits of don't have to do a lot of that additional colour. Just that the eye picks it up. Bit of, yeah. Yeah, so quite often in hobby art, I guess with lots of things in life, go, oh, I don't feel sufficiently motivated to do that today. So it just doesn't happen. But when we're scheduled to do it anyway, just rock on and do it, it can be quite surprising what results we get. Didn't think I would, I wasn't sure about filming live. You don't know until you try. Might just have a... There's no one on at the moment. It's totally okay. Just be a little quieter as I don't have to chat so much to... can think a little bit more what I'm doing. What I need is coffee. That's better. I'll just keep an eye on the up that window. Excuse me. Okay, so I can keep an eye on the. If anyone does jump into chat, say hi if they do so. Oh, it's Salima. How lovely. Nice to see you, Salima. Thank you for coming. I'm very well, thank you. And you? Been busy doing taxes. Swap that window. So what do I need to do here? I need to do that. Here we go. Oh, it's Amber. Aww. Hi, Amber. How lovely to have you on the stream. It's fantastic. I was thinking it was going to be a quiet little stream today. Just paint away by myself. The crazy part of the tax season is over. Yes. Imagine there's a bit of a rush. Need your taxes done, Amber? Talk to Salima. She's an expert. Of course, she is doing them in Canada, so there'll be some differences from where you are. Just so you know. I am today working on still Helen's dress. I just put in some ochres, some bright yellow green into her shadows of her dress because that's what I was seeing. And naturally I'm gonna more turquoise them because this painting is all about turquoise. You came up in my notifications. Oh, fantastic. It's lovely. It's nice to be there. Enjoyed your post this morning, Amber. It's quite poignant. Difficult dilemma, actually. That's what I thought. To yeah, it's just difficult. I'm glad you stuck it out with nursing, because about where you are, but I've got to watch your leg. Sorry, I'm just thinking about just there. This needs to come out way more. Something bothering me about how I've been painting Helen's leg. So where I live in New Zealand, it's a real shame, actually. I don't know, it was probably a consulting company that came up with the idea, but nurses came to be viewed as a cost for hospitals. So if anyone doesn't know, Amber, who's in the comments, is a nurse, oncology nurse, trainer. But so nursing became a cost, and it should never have been a cost to hospitals. And because of that, because it's viewed as a cost, our nurses tend to get the raw end of the deal in that for pay and conditions. And here they're often doing huge shifts. It's just terrible the amount of overtime being done in the medical field at the moment. Criminal even. It's worker abuse. They just don't have anyone. And a lot of our nurses get poached by our neighbours, Australia. And, you know, well, they pay better. So that's a shame. Because we need them. I've been to the emergency department. Had an issue a while back. Just sitting there in the corridor. They don't even have a room for you because they're just so busy. So you've still got a tremendous amount to offer that service, Amber. Actually, I nearly commented, you know, maybe you should think about doing seminars. I'm sure you've actually got a lot to offer for seminars or hospitals. What colour have we got here? Dairy light. It's dairy light, and what's this one? This is orange. This is yellow ochre. I have enjoyed the yellow ochre. Thank you. Another milestone. Yeah. But oh yeah. These things are like so many things. Things just get undervalued, underappreciated. Teachers are another one like that. Eggs coming. Let's get. Egg is coming. It settles, the fabric settles here. Sometimes when I'm painting, I find it, I don't know whether it's the angle I'm standing at, but I miscalculate the distance. What I'm doing. Right, let's get the other one going. So yes, so Amber, you're doing nursing, and Salima, who's been a real trooper in supporting this series, does taxes. So when you are worried about your taxes, talk to Salima. Blending action. I don't blend this too much. I actually quite like seeing the paper come through. Check how much and is this your first stream, Amber, with that you've jumped on? with me? It is. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I've been working on this painting for, we're into 14 hours now. And last episode I said I thought it was about 80% done. And by the end of the episode, that was 85% done. So yay for progress. So yeah. So today I'm aiming for to get it up to 90% would be nice. That's what we want, 90%. Because it's normally about now that people start giving up on their paintings. They've just had enough. And I can understand that. There's times when I'm working on this and I go, oh, you've done enough. Just, that's my phone chirping in the background. There you go. Stop. And then the other part of me goes, no, I will not stop. I will carry on until I feel I have accomplished what I set out to do. Now I said I was going to do her necklace, so let's see if we can find some colours for her necklace. Red and green. So let's just zoom out a bit. Just rearrange the camera a little bit so I can see. Oh, well, at least you've come to a, whoops, gonna work out the correct way of zooming this. Work on her necklace. So Helen's wearing a necklace. Let me just quickly, oh, you probably can't see from the reference photo anyway. So if this is your first stream, you've come at a good time, Amber, because at least you're not in the blocking in stage. And the blocking in stage is always hideous. Yeah, why are you doing a green necklace, David? Well, the green is we want green and red, the shadow. Green and red makes a sort of black colour. And Then once we've got that loaded on, once we've got that loaded on, we can go find some yellows. Something soft. And orange in there too. Do we? Gold, I've often gold necklace is always just a little tricky to get because it's never the colour that you think it is. In fact, it becomes very, very white. We're only just giving an indication of her necklace. We need that darkness underneath. So back to green and red. It disappears behind her shoulder. So there we go. So the paper I'm using is the this pastel mat, and it's quite happy for me to scratch on this extra colour on top. We'll just give that a really white. Sorry, while I just concentrate, it's a little hard for me to talk, and then I need to dull that down a little bit. Here we go. Something like that, and then it goes dark again as it goes under her here. Let's use that green again. Bit of red. Red. So, yeah. Just try and get that a little bit better. And it's very much about getting layers of colour to get to where you want it to be. And oddly, colour that I want to pick, it's going to be turquoise, because that is the colour just keeps popping into everything in this painting. So that's my you see that? Yeah, that's my turquoise pencil, and that is the start of her necklace. I'll need to come around and just tighten that up a little bit. Goes like that. Okay. So, yeah. Something like that. Put those ones back. Yep. So I got whole different bunches of can I see that in the screen? There we go. Let's just zoom out again. Whoops, zooming in. And one sec. Let me just see what I'm doing on screen. Gotta zoom out and adjust this. Here we go. You can barely see her necklace now. Okay. Something like that. There we go. All right, let me read some comments. So as I was about to say, I've got a bunch of different containers for pastel pencils. This is sort of like favorites, sort of go-tos, and this is my, well, it looks like yellows and greens. It's actually got a bit messed up. Clearly I need to tidy up all my pastel pencils, but there's about 70 of them floating around. I've got one just for blues. Normally I have one for yellows and greens, and another one just of browns, and that's how I try and segregate them. But as you can see, let's zoom right out. There's my pan pastels, and it just becomes a mess. Zoom around. This is my main palette here. Oh, this is my son's 3D printing over here. He's taken over my bench there. And then there's my reference photo is up here on screen, where your comments are. My cup of coffee. Very important to have a cup of coffee. But it's a real problem with art in that you end up with so many bits and pieces. It's good enough. You end up with so much stuff, and in fact there's a real problem in collecting, certainly in pastels, collecting all these different pastels, and people can get caught up in just collecting those rather than actually doing any painting. Let me read some comments here. Never realise how hard an artist has to contemplate and work to be happy with his own painting. Yes, happiness is a painting that you feel good about. And I now that I put in that just where my finger's running down here, this is ochre, and just a little bit of work I've done on her dress, trying to pull her leg a bit more clearly. I'm very happy with that. We've got some folds of cloth that still need to be fixed. I need to get my reference photo back up. So many windows open. OBS, my reference, the pop-out chat. And my coffee's going cold. But turquoise has been the theme of this painting, and I've just been so happy with that turquoise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix up this bit of the rock for a moment, because it's become a problem for me. Get that. So it had become a bit separated from the other rocks, from the main rock, and I had sort of mapped it in. So these sort of lines here are the black lines are guidelines for me. go, okay, well that's the shape of the rock. Try not to try not to lose the shape, because the more colour I put down, the easier it is to get lost in a painting. No cold coffee. That's right, Amber. Thank you for that. We must, I hate to guzzle on camera, but I'm guzzling. Because cold coffee is a sad, sad thing. Do not like cold coffee. Unless it's an iced coffee, but, you know, an iced coffee's, you need a hot plate. Yes, I do. I've actually seen those too. You can get little USB ones to keep it hot. But what I need to do is have a smaller mug and get caught up in. Before you turned up, and don't go away because of it, but I was just sort of quietly contemplating my painting. And of course, when there's an audience, I don't want to leave you in silence, so start chatting. I forget about my coffee. There's been a lot of turquoise going on. Just blend in some of that some more reds back in that. This rock is really unusual. The amount of red that I saw in it. So I want to keep on with that and lighten it up in parts as well. So we'll go for a darker red down here. Whereas previously I've had a more pinky lights. I don't want those pinky lights anymore. I need this to come just a bit darker down here. And which reminds me, I said I was going to fix this rock over here. She sort of got a bit carried away and become too light. We'll just bruise it a bit. Some blues and reds to get sort of mauvey tinge going on. A big slab of turquoise, of course. Showing up in the... I don't think that's showing up in what I'm doing. Beg your pardon. Sometimes not aware of the I've got the angle just right. So one day, artists are funny in that they tend to, the money that they make from their art, they push right back into their art and get more supplies. Given a choice, I would end up with better cameras, lights. Oh, with a special mug. Yeah, that's what I need, Amber. Need a get myself. I do have a special mug. Let me grab my special mug. So, Amber saw this last year. I think it was last year, the year before. I love coffee, it says. Ring for a refill. And you go, well, where is it? Well, it's dusty inside. I wouldn't want to refill that. Anyway, the mug was a lie. A friend bought me that. I'm sure he was just teasing me. The mug was a lie. I never refilled. So I'll just bring up some more shadows in here and get our greens. That looks like a deep turquoise. Bit of black. We use it sparingly. There's a bit more shadowy here. I can just feel, sometimes there's a point where you can feel the texture of the paper. That's what we want. And whether it's starting to fill up with pastel or not. I have to keep sort of plugging away at this. The rock's nearly done. Yeah, the rock's nearly done. Helen's just going off for a walk. Normally we'd go together, but Mondays is always a streaming day. So she's on her own. Read in there. If by putting in these other colours for the reds, just drop a green on that. You just get much more interesting variations of blacks rather than just using a straightforward black. I don't mind using the black. We've talked about that before, but I do need to the greens, just visually, the greens and reds, some blues for your blacks. They just break up the painting. It's my cleaner, my rag. Bob Ross used to beat the devil out of his brushes. That was his saying. Beat the devil out of his brush, whereas I gently rub mine on a paper towel. Memory of Bob Ross. Rest in peace. Actually see some orange in there, so orange it is. And orange is going on over here. So we're going to lighten up this. Have I finished? Have I made that? That needs to go right there. It's got to go. That lump of darkness. Here we go. And this bit of rock sort of swings over. We're gonna make it do that. Gonna make this a bit more interesting with some orange. There we go. It's just to get a bit of a gathering of dust there. Still have it. Yes, Amber's referring to the mug. Sorry, it takes me a while sometimes to catch up with the comments. I still have it. You know, I've never drunk coffee out of that mug, Amber. Mainly because there's a big fat bell on the handle, and I'm like, well, how am I going to wash this as well? So it was a problem mug, but it made for a funny time on LinkedIn when we were talking about it. So when you're painting, the more you look at a painting, the more you'll see. And as I get closer to the end of the painting, the more confidence I have. It's really unusual when I start a painting. I'm doing these little dashes, little marks, baby steps, and then as I progress, around the painting, it starts becoming a thing. Comes into its own sort of life, and that's a wonderful thing when it happens. Looking for a colour. Let's go with this orange. This is a... oh no, this is yellow ochre. Where's my dark orange? Under here. Yep, so we've got orange and dark orange. And I want a bit of that dark orange in the rock. So, just for some tonal interest. Without it competing too much with what's going on here. And what is going on here? Let's get... I've got one of these. This is my little silicone tool. Yeah. Can use it for blending. Just want to pull that shadow tighter there. Get a bit more in. So my rock's sort of, it's nearly there. I'm going to eventually say to myself, that's enough rock. Too much rock. But we're not quite at that point. Because some of these marks I just want to blend in a bit more. Let's do that. Blending. Not quite so spotty. Now that we've done that, we'll make it spotty. I'm nearly finished the painting, so it's been a good painting. Very happy with the composition of the piece, the fact that primarily for this particular painting, it's mainly been we've got all these turquoise has been the hero color. Get it on my applicator. We've got turquoise all through Helen. On her skin, in her hair. We're not afraid of that. A little bit of darkness would be nice in her hair though. And we're going to use a little bit more darkness. To see the light. So blues and reds it is. When I first started my first portraits, I was looking at hair, and hair is very intimidating to paint to begin with, because your brain is telling you, oh, you've got all these strands you've got to do. And some light on that. So you can get caught up in doing tons of little strands of hair, and it's actually no fun doing lots of little hair. It's just work. So I've with this particular painting, it's been nice to give myself permission to not do that. Just to use the pan pastels and the applicators. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just putting green in here. Probably go, what? But it works. Because colour is just an amazing thing. And if I put a little bit of red next to it, get my darks, I can get the red on my applicator. And I'll probably put a bit of yeah, it's getting there. Let's have some ochre. Ochre. Try not to stand in front of the picture. Yep. And turquoise, of course. See. I'll use some I will use some pastel pencils for her highlights. Just because I've got so much more control, but it's been interesting to use the pan pastels, which you don't have a lot of control over, or at least I don't have a lot of motor control over. Oh, we've had 11 o'clock already. My word. Let me just step back and have a look at the painting and tell you where I think what's left to do. Okay. So I'm pretty happy. I sort of fixed up this rock bit here, defocused the rock over here, so that because that's the idea is not to have. So this is kind of where the eye is going to go to. So kind of look at her here, the line of her jaw and cheek. There's interest coming down into her arm, the light on her bust. So there's some sort of sunlight is coming down this way. That's where it is. But it's an evening sun, so it's kind of setting, but there's light coming around here, highlights in her hair. I don't think I'm going to fiddle too much with the rocks over here. I'm okay with that. This is fine. But this is Helena's the hero of the piece. And then the eye sort of works out, you know, can discover her leg. And I may still, she had a little toe poking out she had these red shoes, so that may still poke out there. I said I was going to put a little bit of ochre up in these trees. That's what I'm going to do. I want to turquoise too. This just needs to be lit up a little bit more over here, and the edge of the trees. I was putting ochre there, and I want a bit up here too. Splash. Some weird tree. Knock it back a wee bit. Just a little bit more colour around here. Just gonna put a little bit of... I just want a bit more zing in the trees. I'm gonna think about her dress for the next episode. I think the arm is good enough. I want to fix up her necklace a little bit. Just blow off some of the dust. The pan pastels are pretty good. You don't get a lot of dust with them compared to normal pastels, which is really great because some people are, you know, it's pigment, right? And pigment comes from all sorts of minerals and things that could be carcinogenic. Normally, pastels are pretty safe, but I know pastelists who wear gloves, but there's my hands, so there's barely any pastel on my hands compared to if I'd been holding pastels and banging around with them. So this is pretty much done. It's nearly done. I think I'm at 95% actually. Maybe a little less, maybe 92%. And I'll come back to it next week, and hopefully that'll be, then I can say, yeah, no, it's done. It feels close to it. It's not quite there, but it's really close. So I want to thank all those who tuned in. Really appreciate you watching it live. Lovely to have you here, Amber and Salima. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very, very much for joining and watching that. And maybe next week it gets finished. But for now, yes, 92%. That's right, Salima. 92%. Nearly done. Next week, I'll aim to finish it. And then it'll be on to a fresh painting. So thanks very much. We'll see you around. Bye for now.